Hey guys, welcome to Love or Tarot. I am Jay, your host here at Love or Tarot. Today we'll be doing something a little bit more different. I'm not going to be pulling any cards. I'm just going to kind of be going over a recent download and vision that I had in my meditation. So, boom, we're going to set the scene, okay? I immediately enter into my meditation. You know, the energy was very calm, and I seen a branch and a little sparrow bird, and it was kind of like scratching its claw against the bark of the branch, right? And I just kind of focused in on that. And then suddenly the sparrow takes off, and it was almost like I was riding the sparrow's back, was kind of the visual I was getting. And as I was riding the sparrow's back, you know, in this vision, because I wasn't technically like, I didn't see myself on the bird itself, but it was almost like that was the view I was given. And the bird took flight, and we began flying. And as I'm looking below, you just see all of this land, houses, some of them partially burnt down. The soil looks very dry and crackly. The trees, there's no greenery anywhere, but you just see hundreds and hundreds of houses, but it just almost looks like a disaster had occurred there. Like, nuclear bomb type activity. It just looked very, very broken, was the big word that I felt when I looked at it. It just looked very, very broken and, full of famine. And so then we get to this area where we're flying, and there's this water, right? It's like a beautiful, beautiful river. I'm talking about like beautiful river, beautiful blue water. And then as soon as we cross over the water, we end up in this very lush green forest area, and it was just beautiful. And I remember just saying like how beautiful the transition of color was, and going from a very dry, decrepit like looking area to this beautiful lush forest. It was just such a beautiful transition. And there was this log cabin that came into view in the middle of the woods, and it was beautiful. It really, like I was telling a friend of mine that it really reminded you of camp. That's kind of what the scene like reminded me of. Like you've seen some people collecting wood, you've seen some people, going other places. I seen women like picking herbs in the forest and like putting them in their bags, and beautiful woven bags. And you also seen this huge log cabin that kind of sat in the middle of the site. And the log cabin itself, it was almost like I got an x-ray vision, and I could see inside, and it was this beautiful long table which you knew everyone communed at, and it was like almost like I was giving visuals of them all laughing and joking and talking as they ate with each other and communed with each other. And it was beautiful. And suddenly, as I'm looking at them, partaking in their meal and everything and coming together and, laughing and talking, an earthquake hits. And, it just like literally the earthquake was so strong, and it was almost like the cabin itself sat on the exact asphalt, and it just like the ground underneath the cabin, just the log cabin, it crumbled. Like it was literally crumbling right through the middle. It was insane. And then it was over. And right out of it, I kept hearing choices, choices, choices. And it was then that I was given a very clear message. And that's that we're in a place of choices. We're in a place of choosing to go it alone and starve, whether that be in actuality because of the state of our country, or it just be starvation in the sense of us not having the mind or the will to really do anything outside of our normal or what we deem as normal, okay? And not being able to ever see life for what it is, for the beauty that life truly holds. And then there's the other side where we can band together, where we can help each other and lean on each other and find that beautiful sense of community that our ancestors grew and flourished and learned and built this country on. And so many different societies on. I wouldn't even just say this country, because this sense of community is a global thing. It is a global message. It is not something that just is supposed to resonate with those living in the United States. This is something that every single country, every place really has to adapt the ideology of being a community, of really truly wanting what's best for your neighbor and not for personal gain, just strictly because you want someone else to have good because you have good. You know, willing to share, willing to, collaborate with others, willing to really bring a sense of community back to humanity. Because so many of us have, experienced, governmental systems, as well as, just several different belief systems even, that are all about greed, are all about the hierarchy, are all about who you are versus who I am, and you're the little man and I'm the big guy. And we're coming to a time where, the powers that be are at a loss. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea how to solve these issues. They have no idea what to do in regards to making what is currently going on in the state of our world come to a halt. And you want to know why? Because it's not in their power. It's not in their power at all. And right now, we look at the situation as if we're defenseless, but we're not. Our minds are the most beautiful, most amazing conductors of energy that there will ever be. We have the answers. We have the answers. All of us do. It's the thought process and the ideology of us being crazy, or, being fed these things, like people that see the future are nuts. People that, talk about things before they happen. They're crazy. Ooh. But in the actuality, they're not. We all possess the gifts. So many of us possess the gifts of being clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient. It's like we all possess these gifts in different measures and in different forms. And it's because not one person can have everything. And it's because we were never meant to be in a state where part of, what we have is just all we have. We were meant to share it. Our belief systems, we were meant to lean on each other and share this information, because everyone has a piece of the puzzle. Everyone has a piece of the puzzle. I was just recently talking to a few friends of mine who, two of them, they've never spoken to each other, but told me that in their childhood had the same exact dream from the same exact narrative about a time where we would be under martial law. Two people never sat down and really had a conversation, raised in two totally different areas, have never come into contact really, other than me being their person that they're a mutual friend of both of theirs. And in their childhood, both had similar dreams from the same perspective. And it's because we all have a piece of the puzzle. And had I had not shared what I shared with them, they wouldn't have felt comfortable enough to share what they shared with me. And it just continues to confirm to me everything that I am being told. And that's that we have to band together. I've been talking to you guys so much about collaborative effort, about the feminine not just being about the feminine and the masculine not just being about the masculine, about us really coming together and realizing that this is about all of us. This is not about one singular person. This is not about one ruler. This is not about one family. This is about all of us No matter how we identify, no matter our racial background, no matter our ethnicity, no matter our weight, size, height, gender, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, those things are so trivial in the grand scheme of things. If we just really start to embrace and care about each other at base level, you're a human being, I'm a human being. You're a woman, I'm a woman. You're a man, I'm a man. That type of understanding, we are going to be so much better off. The other grand part of this was the lush water. You guys, if things don't get better soon, everybody ain't going to be at work. So that means the same people that's working to keep the water clean are not going to be there to keep the water clean. And we have to be mindful of these things. The best thing that you can do right now is to make sure that you're not thinking frivolously, that you are being frugal, that you are stretching your money as far as your money will stretch, that you are making sure that you have clean water, and also storing water. I'm not telling everybody to run to the store, grab all the bottles that they can find, and keep everything. Do it a little bit at a time. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, go in the store, get what you need, come out. Go in the store, get what you need, and come out. Because at a certain point, if things don't get better, everyone's going to need. And if it's all in your house, everyone doesn't have, just you. And we have to get out of that mindset of, I'm going to be the only one that survives. I'm going to be the only one that makes it. You have people going to the store and collecting cleaning supplies and different supplies so they can resell it on Amazon. Come on. Like, really think about the grand scheme of things. There are people dying. And I want everyone to understand that this is not the final frontier. This is yet again another transformation process, because the ones that have happened before didn't have the impact that they were supposed to because people weren't paying attention. The number of earthquakes this year is incredibly shocking. The number of natural disasters that occurred just last year are shocking. The fires that have broken out. And yet and still, we're all sitting here looking at what's going on right now like it's so shocking. Oh, there were messages before this. There were so many transformation processes that we were supposed to be paying attention to. It's just that now we are being forced into a complete death process. A complete, you're going to go ahead and we're going to press the reset button on this whole thing and we're going to start over again. That's why it's not just affecting one local area anymore. Because the local areas that were being affected were supposed to get the support of everyone, but instead they were overlooked. So now it's not local, it's everywhere. It's now a global problem, so that we can truly understand that this is not about me. This is about we. This is about all of us. And we have to step up and we have to do our part. If you have a dream and it may not make sense, I told you guys, via my Instagram, if you have a message and it doesn't make sense to you, write it down anyway. Write it down anyway. Talk to your friends about it. Oh my God, I had the craziest dream. Because when you're speaking these things and you're allowing yourself to get these things out, you will find that it's not just you that have pieces to the puzzle, but it's everyone around you. It was so many different situations where people were being brought very, very abruptly to love, to people in their soul tribe, people that they felt like they've known their whole lives throughout all of this time before this has even occurred. And it's because we were brought together for survival, not even just for love and, and for all the warm and fuzzy stuff. But we have to understand that love is the root of all, and love is water. I tell that to everyone that I know. Water for me is equivalent to love. It is the very root of this entire planet and what this entire planet exists off of and why this planet is able to function. And that is water. Once water is removed from the equation, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. And I say that to say that once love is removed from the situation, we are in trouble. So I urge you, love on your neighbor, care about those around you, hold close to the relationships that you have and even relationships that you may have been taken for granted. And understand that we're all being put on this pause to truly transform so that when we are let back into the world and we're no longer in quarantine, or for some of us, recognize that this virus is no longer a big issue or, has kind of, ran its course, that we see things differently and that we do differently. Because if not, worse is to come. You guys, in my visions, I've seen tornadoes that are the size of cities. It's not a joke out here. And we have to do better. It's up to all of us. And I'm going to do my part. And my prayer and my hope and my desire and my consistent intention is that you do the same. I love you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.